everyone, great to be here. I'm Isla from Zuitzerland, and we are building a permanent Swiss village and an accelerator for DIAC and open source technology. So where did this come from and how did we get here? 2 years ago, I was in Montenegro at Zuzalu and really had this amazing moment of finding my people and realizing that this group of people, if any group of people, was the group of people that had the potential to change the world for the better. And that's really important. So we're building really the best place for people solving humanity's biggest challenges. And why is that so important right now? 2 years ago, Vitalik wrote an article or an essay called My Techno-Optimism, where he talked about the fact that the next century, particularly the next decade, are critical for humanity. He asked the question, what is the thing that we are accelerating towards? Technology is good, but are we accelerating towards a future where humanity retains its freedom and agency, where people retain their privacy? Or are we accelerating towards a future with hundreds of millions and billions in capital being allocated towards things that are controlled by centralized companies and wealthy individuals? He really puts the challenge to us, can we create this future? And if we want to create this future, we need to allocate capital at similar scale towards the people and builders building for the long term in relatively decentralized, democratic, differential ways. And so what we're building is a Schelling point for the future's $100 billion companies, a place where purpose, yes, is more than profit, but the two are not mutually exclusive, and a place to build the next Ethereum, Uniswap, Aave, and the kinds of things that help us accelerate towards the future we want. How do we get there? We need to allocate capital at scale to the right things. As Vitalik also says, legitimacy is a powerful social technology, and we should use it. At the moment, we live in an attention economy. In attention economies, capital is allocated to things that have legitimacy, and those things are the things that get attention. Unfortunately, the things that get attention are not usually the things that are also useful to humanity. In fact, centralized companies have been very good at manipulating that to their advantage. So we need to flip the script to things where legitimacy gets signal, and that signal allocates capital. And the good thing about these physical hubs that we've been building is that actually they create a lot of in-person legitimacy. The tight social graphs that are created when people live together are incredibly powerful. A lot of good investors will say we invest in lines, not dots, and these hubs create a lot of lines. So I've been thinking about capital allocation and how to do it better for the past 10 years. At the beginning of the year, Vitalik was at our summit and gave the challenge to us to come up with an investable model because we need capital at scale. And so we've been working on a model where we have a tokenized economy, where Zuitzerland would just be the pilot for a transnational network of hubs like these, accelerating the right kind of technology. And a world where the token economy creates value, creates upside that flows in, and that value can be reinvested and returned into the ecosystem and the economy that created it. So what is Zuitzerland? In our eyes, Zuitzerland is D-combinator, the place where the most ambitious founders come that don't want to sell out, a place where we can build the alternative. We're building a permanent village, an accelerator for DIAC technology, and an endowment fund that works similarly to what Harvard or Stanford have, but that works with an economic flywheel on a token ecosystem. Why Switzerland? And this is very important as a pilot. We talk about the fact that if Silicon Valley is move fast and break things, then Switzerland is move fast and try not to break things. Switzerland has a 700-year history of working with decentralized governance. They've created a powerful social and cultural technology that is very aligned with DIAC. There's amazing talent. We have the ETH, EPFL, the Zurich AI Hub. We also have Crypto Valley. And very recently, the Swiss government committed to building all software as open source technology where feasible within security limitations. That's a huge commitment and one that we're excited to build on. In May, we had our first residency as a proof of concept for our on-chain village at Laax, a ski resort in Switzerland. And it went so well, and the village was so great, that we've been working now together with that village, with that resort, with Laax, to actually develop a long-term strategic partnership and bring next year the entire resort, hopefully, on-chain. We're working on a pilot for that with them. We're also talking to Blockchain Zug, the Joint Research Initiative, and Canton Zug, and we want to work together with universities, researchers, and all of the right people building for the long term to create an on-chain economy. Thank you very much. It's great to be here. Thank you, Balaji, for having us. And I'd love to talk to anyone that wants to be part of building this economy.